Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. So, I've just come off a call with a client, and is within reignited men, and there is a situation that was going on in his relationship, and we started talking, and we started going down this path where we were talking about dominance, and he was uncomfortable with that word dominance, and so would men. I came to the realization that some men would actually have the problem with it, and most women would have a problem with it. So, and this is one of the things that I've spoken to with my wife, and there was some resistance initially when we spoke about it, but we've come to a place where we've got an understanding on the role of dominance and how you can demonstrate that in a relationship in a way that puts you in a place of leadership. Because I think sometimes people, when they think dominance, they're thinking of like, BDSM or something where you've sort of hooked somebody up and then you're whipping them or something. And that's the picture that most people take when it comes to dominance, or somebody's, usually they think suppressing some of somebody else's desire or needs, or suppressing that person's choices. That's what most people think when it comes to dominance. But that's not what it is. And a large chunk of the reasons why a lot of people are within a sexless relationship is because there's this skewed view of what the purpose is for leadership from men, and how dominance plays a role within leadership. Because when you think about leadership, there is a lot of when you think of dominance, there's at least two or three things that are empowering from a dominant standpoint, and that is protection, safety. Being a protector, being somebody who makes correct decisions or at least overrides as an overriding strategy in terms of where you want to go as a family, as a relationship, as a father. So there's those things that you have to have foresight in being able to demonstrate that. And again, that's a dominant move. And then the ability to show strength as well is a dominance move. So not just internal, not just physical strength as in being able to lift things and move things around, but internal strength. So that we're talking about resiliency and so on. So I started talking about this, and I was trying to reframe how you view dominance. And this reframe was important because usually within a sexless relationship, most people relinquish dominance in the hopes of actually getting more sex. So in terms of behavior, you alter that behavior, you subdue behavior subdue the dominant behavior in order to appease the woman. Because there's a part of it where, especially when we talk about the 5 profiles of women that cause a sexless relationship, a lot of those people are traumatized, and therefore, in order to reclaim their position, they have to erode your dominance in order for them to feel like they're of a place of strength. Because usually they're coming from a place of weakness. But by you relinquishing your dominance, they feel empowered, and by that empowering, there's a side effect of them that they lose respect for you because you're not exhibiting dominance and you're not showing them a direction that is empowering for the relationship. So they feel like they have to be in control of that relationship because you're coming across weak, and therefore that's why she never wants to feel, or she never even wants to drop that position in order to feel seduction or aroused. Because again, a lot of it, when it comes to seduction and arousal, there's somebody who's passive and somebody who's proactive. So a lot of you guys, and this is a common theme that I've been seeing, that a lot of people take this sort of passive approach, and this is why nobody ends up having any sex, because all of a sudden you're waiting for this person who because you've relinquished all of your dominance, she doesn't trust your leadership. So you're now waiting for her, because every time you sort of try and get your head out of to try and, if you've ever seen those arcade games where I don't know if it's crocodiles, and then they sort of appear, and then you have to hit them with the hammer. So this is how she is. That every time you sort of want to have sex, it's like you sort of picking out, and then she smashes you in terms of rejection, because all of a sudden she's intoxicated by this power of dominance over you, because you've relinquished it to her. You've just given it up. Like, this is, I'm going to give this up in the hopes that you're going to give me sex. And there's this really unfair trade that you probably hearing for the first time that you've actually done it, you've actually released it. And after speaking to this gentleman, I felt a little bit heartbroken, because it's something that I've not spoken about, but I think I should have spoken a whole lot about. So, and I apologize for anybody who's been following for a long period of time, because I think this is one of those key things that will turn your relationship massively, because you can reclaim dominance. You can reclaim dominance, and there's several things. Like I said, if you think of it from a protection standpoint, if you think of it from a strategic standpoint, if you can start reclaiming it by really sharing those ideas that are long-term, that are not just self-serving, but as collaborative within the relationship, all of that is what then starts reclaiming your dominance, so she can trust your leadership. When she trusts your leadership, then she's more going to take a passive role, and then you don't need to be waiting for that awkward wait for when is she going to feel aroused so she can give me a little bit of sex. So it's a very broad thing that we're talking about. Gave him a breakthrough, because we reframed how he was viewing dominance, and as it is a large part of being a leader, and it's a very important part that you guys start reframing that, not only for you, but only for your relationship as well. That as you get better at being dominant within a relationship, you can get comfortable with the fact that you being dominant is a good thing for the relationship. Now, when you think about it from that perspective, I think most women, they've been fooled into this feminism and all this shit. They talk about, women's equality and so on. And really, when it comes to women's equality, and I was watching a video where this guy was talking about it, and I was like, oh, that's exactly what I think about feminism, that they want equality and so on, but it's never going to be equal, because the lady gave an example and said, normally if a guy walks up to chat up a woman and she didn't want to interact with this man anymore, in order for her to get rid of him, she doesn't just say go away. It's not sufficient. Sometimes it might get the guy persistent, and sometimes she knows that in past experiences there's some really weak men that come up, and then if you tell them to go away, they become very aggressive, which some of you guys do to a certain extent with sexless relationship, where if she says no and rejected, you take this really negative frame. Anyways, so she knows that it's not just enough to say no, go away. So she generally says, I've got a boyfriend, or I am married. And it's funny how she uses another man, or a fictitious man, in order to get rid of you, because she knows that in your mind, you've got this idea of, if there's another man, that man might now prove dominance on me, and you won't like it. So you just don't want to deal with another man's, another man's aggression if you could persist with this. So when it comes to feminism, it becomes flawed, because all of a sudden, if you wanted equality and then you wanted men not to be dominant ever again, it means that the society becomes lawless, in terms of if there was no laws, there was no masculine people that are maintaining rule of law, for example, people would be chaotic, if you imagine. So there'll be anarchy all around the world if feminists got exactly what they wanted, that men just be, so they want to relinquish our dominance in order for them to stake claim, and then they rule us. But if that was the case, would overpower them and take over the world. Anyways, we already own the world, run the world, guys. And I know most people, if there's a woman listening to this, they're probably thinking, what am I teaching? They might take this one clip and then put it out of context. But what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to dominance, it's just got a bad rap over the years because they assume it's removing any choice from the woman, it's removing a choice from the subject or somebody who's being led, and there's this really bad rap around it. And this is an integral part of really being in a good successful sexual relationship, when you can reclaim this within your relationship. And I've got very good feelings about after training this, because I could feel the transformation happening as we're talking about this. And this is the reason why I've come straight on here to talk about this, because while it's still fresh, I can share with you exactly how we did this. And I would like to share this with you guys. If you can come to our custom seduction blueprint, so I can show you how to reclaim dominance into your relationship. Like I said, it's for free. The initial one is for free. It's like going to a restaurant, you buy a very nice dinner, you will eat it before you pay for it, and then if you like it and enjoy it, you pay for it. So this is how we get clients. We give you really good stuff so you can go out and do it. Now the caveat is that you have to do the homework that we give you. If you don't, your quality, doesn't matter how much money you want to pay, it won't qualify you to get in. And we're really strict about it. So that's an opportunity for you to go improve to us that one, you're willing to do the homework, and then two, that when you do the homework, you can, you give us feedback and say, this is really good, maybe this is not good. Whichever is the case, we're willing to help you with that. And if you do, then we can tell you this next step in terms of how to join the Reignited Men if you qualify. So again, the reason why I keep saying about this is not because I'm trying to force you guys to buy, but I'm trying to get you guys results. There's so many guys that are getting results that are not inside Reignited Men that have come to the actual call itself. And it's like I said, it's free. But it's not free because I'm just giving away my time for free. But that's what I'm saying. It's something that is going to be powerful, especially when it comes to stuff like this where you're reclaiming your dominance. It's something that has been eroding in your life for so long, and you could have this opportunity to actually start reclaiming it back so you can reclaim your relationship. So thank you very much, guys. Be seeing you guys soon. Take care.